Yo, what's going on, guys? Max the Melonhead here, bringing y'all another video. And as you could tell by the title and the thumbnail, today I am switching over to some independent trucks on my main setup. If you don't know or you haven't watched my videos before, I've been riding Thunders pretty religiously for the last like 9 months or so, maybe almost the last year. I have ridden independents in the past when I first started skateboarding, and I got like an 825 popsicle like way back in the beginning. Well, not that way back. This was probably like about a year and a half ago now, or a year and a quarter or so. I was only on that setup for like a month and realized that I just didn't like such a small board and kind of completely switched off of that. And when I upgraded to a bigger skateboard deck, I ended up going with Thunders because I heard they extended the wheelbase, and I was really going for something bigger at that time. I've enjoyed Thunders a lot. I don't have any complaints about them, really. I mean, it's all I've really skated, so it's hard to have complaints when you don't have a reference point to compare. But I guess I'll just go over quickly the main reason I'm switching to independence. I recently switched to a 9-inch Anti-Hero Orange Eagle popsicle. You probably saw me riding it in the last video, and next week I'm gonna be making a video on that deck anyway, so I'll be talking more in depth about the deck itself. But basically all you need to know is the wheelbase on that Anti-Hero board I just switched to is like 15.2 inches for the wheelbase. And I had been riding a 14.5 inch wheelbase before on the Baker. So it's a significant difference, and it feels a lot cozier. I feel more confident on my tricks. But having Thunders, which extends your wheelbase on such a big wheelbase, was kind of messing with my pop. I just felt like I couldn't get the board as high as I wanted to with those trucks. The Thunders sit really low as well. And I had been watching a lot of Dr. Schmidt, Ben DeGrosse clips about trucks and wheelbases and concave and getting that Goldilocks zone for your truck to deck ratio. And I realized that Thunders were just not working with this big wheelbase on this big 9-inch popsicle. And I realized, independents, they sit a little bit taller, they bring the wheelbase in a little bit, and I was like, honestly, I just want something that basically exactly what the independents do is what I want for this board. So I haven't ridden them yet. I did put them on this morning. You can see fresh independents on there right now. Super excited to break them in. I did stand on it a little bit when I was in the house, and they were a lot looser than Thunders because they are taller, and the bushings, I don't know, so, something about them is a lot looser. So I had to crank them down like 4 turns, or maybe not 4 turns, like 4 half turns. So yeah, I haven't ridden it yet though, so I'm just gonna give my first impressions today. We're at the local middle school where I love to come skate. I've done a few videos here, like the nose slide video and stuff. So yeah, without further ado, I will say also these are 875 independent forged hollows. Went with those to keep the weight down, and they also were more of a mid truck. So instead of 55 millimeters tall, they're like 53.5. So still like 2 millimeters taller than the Thunder Hollow Lights that I was on, but not like a crazy big jump to like a 55. And I am rocking some riser pads and stuff with it too. So yeah, I got the same nano cubic wheels and stuff. So not switching that anytime, or not right now. So yeah, let's get out there. I've been talking enough. Let's get to the riding and just see how these how these independents are gonna feel coming from Thunders. Well, guys, just wanted to show this before I start riding. I'm a little bummed out. Came here because, I love the ride-on grind here for 50/50s and nose slides and stuff. This was the great little slappy spot. And it is covered in snow right now. It's really cold here. It's actually 28 degrees, so gonna take a little bit to get warmed up especially, but also the mani pad is covered in snow. So no manual pad today, no ride-on grind. There is some good dry flat over here in the sun, so I guess that's what we're going to be working on. I have not skated in 9 days because of the snow and weather and just overall coldness. So I guess it'll be good just to skate some flat ground today to get warmed up and get used to the trucks. And maybe later, like one night this week after school is out, I'll come back over here because it is Sunday today, so it's nice to skate here when school's out. But whatever, maybe I'll come here one night when it's lit up and it's more dry, and I will get some grinds on these new trucks as well. So yeah, let's just get to skating on the flat ground. right off the bat, these trucks feel way carbier than Thunders, like significantly. I'm probably gonna tighten them another turn or two on each one, maybe a half turn more on each, just to get a little more stable feel, because I am not used to how loose these trucks feel, even after turning them quite a bit. But you know, we'll see. I like the carviness, but the main reason I'm riding these is mainly for the shorter wheelbase and the higher truck height. So the carviness is not like my biggest concern for switching. Wow, okay, so this is like 5 or 6 turns now on these trucks. Still feeling like way looser than the Thunders. I've heard like, and I remember Indies being a bit looser, but not to this extent. I know we get used to everything, so I'm not worried about it. I don't want to like tighten them too much because I don't want to like hurt the kingpin, hurt the threading. The threading sticking out a little bit already, so I'm just gonna try to do some ollies and some flat ground now and see how it feels with the looser trucks. That's what not skating for 9 days looks like right there. Look at all that salt. Gotta love skating, you know, in the Northeast in the winter, but no, all of that aside, starting to get a little bit of the feel for the pop on these new trucks. I don't know, it's hard to say since I haven't skated in like 9 days, like I said before, but it's feeling like it's a little easier to get my ollies up in the air with this. I've had a few ghost pops so far because it is a little bit taller and the wheelbase is brought in more than how this board was set up before with the Thunders, but I don't know, the ollies are actually starting to come along a lot faster than I thought they would. I'm gonna get one of those 2x4s out of my car and put it right here on the line and see if I can just practice getting over 1 or 2 of those, because you know, that's what I love to do to get my ollies going, and haven't done that in a while, so it'll be interesting to see how it feels to do that on these trucks. So the ollies are actually starting to feel really consistent, really fast, especially for not skating in like a week and a half. I'm kind of surprising myself. They might look a little ugly on camera, but I don't know. I gotta say, like, for not skating in a while, I keep saying that, and for having new trucks, like, the pop's feeling nice. I'm feeling confident on these trucks so far, especially now that I tightened them up a bit and they're not so squirrely. So I think I'm gonna try to go for 2 planks, and then I want to do some other flat ground stuff like some 180s and some shove-its and stuff, and kind of see how those feel on these. Kind of landed into a nose manual for a second, which is kind of scary, but we got it next try for sure. Oh. Right there. Woo! That felt almost effortless. Kind of crazy it took so many tries when they feel that smooth on the last one, but that's what skating is, you know? Just had to get that confidence up and get that pop right. Oh. Had a little bit of a ghost pop again. Let's get one more like that, and then we can move on to some flat ground tricks. I clipped a little on the way down on that, so let's get one like clean one again. One more clean one. I'm gonna have to watch that clip back, but the pop on that one felt really good. I felt like I cleared it by quite a bit. And usually when I'm doing 2 planks, at least on the Thunders, I would just be getting over it. But that felt like I could have gone over 3 planks, honestly, with the pop on that. So yeah, feeling pretty happy with the ollie so far. I know it's only been like 15 minutes of riding, but I think we should move on to the 180s and the shove-its and stuff just to see how those other tricks feel. I keep moving the tripod further and further over in the parking lot because we're just like slowly getting less and less sun. So I'm trying to stay where it's as warm as possible. So at least we get some cool new angles each time that I'm switching it up. So let's do some frontside 180s on this board now and see how it feels. I know that I wasn't going fast. I was stationary on the other one that was kind of in fakie, kind of not. But I had good pop on those right away. So I'm gonna get a little more speed on it and go from there. Very crisp. Not quite. All right, here we go. Frontside 180, then half cab. I guess the problem right now is it's kind of uphill where I'm at. That's the best place to film. That's like the dry spot here that's in the sun. So, you know, I'm gonna take that for now because I want to move on to shove-its. But 180s feeling pretty decent. I'm getting really good pop on the frontside 180s. Half cabs aren't really like looking super nice yet, but that's just because I'm not having a lot of speed. I think I'm gonna do like 1 or 2 half cabs just on their own, just to get something backside, and then we'll move on to the shove-its. That felt a lot better. It was ghost pop, but I did get a full rotation. That felt pretty good as far as how they've been so far today. So I think let's move on to some shove-its. I really want to see how the pop shove-it's going to feel with that extra ride height. I don't think it's going to make a big difference, but shove-it's like the newest trick, you know, that I've learned on flat ground. So it's something I'm really trying to get consistent. So let's do it. Not so bad for not doing one in 10 days. You know, I got the right motion going. Got hung up a little bit. Oh, almost. Let's keep that going. Okay. On that one, I saw a little pebble right where I was gonna pop, and it kind of psyched me out. But whatever. Let's keep going. Ooh, caught that a little weird. Ooh, almost hung on. I'm feeling this next one. Big pop, beautiful catch, everything right here. Oh, so close. That was pretty clean, I think. Not crazy pop, but really good rotation, really good catch. Shovets are feeling pretty good so far on these trucks. That kind of like wraps it up for a lot of my like normal flat ground stuff where I'm at with my skill level right now. We are losing shade over here. So I think what we're gonna do, or not shade, we're getting a lot of shade. We are losing sunlight in this section. So what I wanna do is go back over to the curb and just try to get some ollies over the snowbank. I think that could be really cool. You know, work with what we got right now and get at least a little like street feature. So yeah, let's head over there and see what's up. We got that. There's just a lot of snow and ice on the sidewalk that I got to kind of like cut through, and I was just a little sketched out on that one. Right here. Here we go. Let's get a bigger one where the main snowbank is. Oh. Just got to commit a little more. Let's go. That felt cool. It's like I don't know, this probably would have like a 2 or 3 stair, might feel like. Not height wise, but I don't know, just length wise it's like a 2 stairs, so that's kind of fun. Let's get another one. That is super, super fun. You never know what you're gonna like find when you're out skating, especially when the environment changes. And we're trying to make the best of what we got right now, and we're using the snow as a little obstacle. That is super fun. All right, guys, so I just finished editing all the footage from my first time trying these indies after switching from the Thunders. It has been over a week since then, and I have actually barely gotten to skate since then because living in upstate New York, there's a lot of snow, ice, just crappy weather this time of year. So, you know, skating is few and far in between right now. I did film another video that was a little bit of street skating that's going to be coming out next weekend, where I did get to ride the Independence a little bit more there. And then I did get to have a little session with my skate club yesterday, but I wasn't doing a lot of filming for that because, you know, seeing my friends for the first time in a while and, you know, just having some fun with them. But I'm just going to give a little wrap up of how I'm feeling about the Independence so far. I had a little bit of a hang up because I noticed after putting the Independence on that only 3 of my wheels were touching the ground when I put the board down. And at first I thought, do I have a bent axle? Like, am I super unlucky and I got just like a fresh pair of Independence that was already bent in one of the axles? Found out that wasn't the case. At first I thought it might be the bushings. Took the trucks off just to really test everything about what was going on. And I found out that my new board is slightly warped. I'm not going to go in depth about this board like in its warpage right now. That's going to be, I guess, for down the line when I'm actually maybe giving a review on this board. I don't think it's Anti-Hero's fault or anything. I'm trying to figure out what happened. But anyways, that's not the point of this video. I did realize that it wasn't the trucks causing the issue necessarily. It was the board. So for a little bit, I was about to make a video saying, oh, Independence selling new trucks that have bent axles. What's happening with this company? I'm about to switch back to Thunders. But that is not the case. I can say that the Independents are feeling good. They are how they're supposed to be. I guess there's not a lot to say that I didn't say in the footage where I was riding. I think these trucks so far are doing what I wanted them to do. They're sitting taller than the Thunders. They've brought the wheelbase of my board in more than the Thunders had. And both those things are big positives for me. I've noticed my pop is getting better with the indies. That's not to say that Thunders don't have good pop. Just for this particular board that I'm riding, this is like a 33.25-inch board, has a big nose and a big tail that are like, I guess, medium steepness with a big 15-inch wheelbase. Now, like I said, when you put Thunders with that and it extends the wheelbase even more and it makes it lower, you can get snappy pop, but it's hard to get tall pop. So putting these taller Indies on, I was getting a little bit of ghost pop at first, as you saw, but now that I've gotten the timing down better and there's a greater distance between the tail and the ground, when I do get the right timing, it just allows for the board to come up higher up in the air, and I'm feeling just overall like better about getting bigger ollies. I have small wheels on right now too. These are probably like 50 millimeters now. So down the line, I'm gonna try to get some 54 or 56 millimeter wheels on here too, just to add to even more pop and get that timing down a little differently as well. But yeah, as far as getting better pop, bringing that wheelbase in, these have done their job. And I'm just gonna say one more time, it's not about like, what am I trying to say? It's the Goldilocks zone. It's not to say that the Independents are better than the Thunders. The Independents are just better for the type of board that I'm riding right now. So you know, when you're picking your trucks, be sure to like pay attention to the dimensions of your wheelbase, the length of your deck, the concave, because different trucks are going to be better for different shapes and different sizes. And like as far as I know, Ventures extend the wheelbase the most. Then it goes Ventures, then Thunders, then Indies, then Ace. Ace being the shortest wheelbase of all of them. But yeah, other than that, I guess the one thing I noticed about the Independents are that they're a lot looser feeling than Thunders because of that extra height. They're a lot squirrelier. I had to tighten them down a lot more than I did with my Thunders. Like I probably had to tighten these down almost twice as much as I would with a Thunder truck, just to get the same feel and not be like too loose. Because I like to ride a mid to tight truck. So with the Indies, I definitely had to crank them down quite a bit. I didn't want to crank them down to the point where I was going to blow out a bushing. So I had to get used to riding these trucks a little bit looser than I normally do, which isn't a negative thing. I want to experiment more with loose trucks and see how that affects my riding. So maybe I'll slowly loosen these more and more and just, you know, take on loose trucks for a little bit. But I guess if you are switching from Thunder to Indy, just know that it is going to be a lot carvier, a lot squirrelier than you're used to, because Thunders are a lot more stable. But you know, they have pros and cons. Like I'm saying, I'm not trying to say Thunders are worse or Indies are worse or better. They're just different. These are carvier, Thunders are more stable. And you can find that in a lot of videos. This is just me reiterating what I've heard and now what I've learned from actually riding the two trucks back to back. I'm gonna definitely keep riding the Indies on this board. I'm gonna put my Thunders on a smaller board that I have, probably the Blue Meanie, because they did feel good on that. But this is my main board. I'm gonna keep the Independents on here, keep riding. I didn't get to do a lot of grind tricks with these yet, just because weather conditions. You saw I was going to do grinds at the one spot at the middle school in New Paltz, but that snowbank was just completely blocking that. So down the line, I'm going to definitely experiment with how these grind. I've heard that Independents hold up well for grinds. These are the forged hollows, so I know the standard Indies are the best for grinding from what I've heard because they're a little bit more solid. But I don't know, we're going to see. That'll be down the line. I don't want to talk any more than I have because this video's gone longer than I normally film my videos. I hope you enjoyed watching this. Shout out to Thunder trucks and Independent trucks. They both serve their purposes in different ways. And, you know, just find out what works the best for your setup. Yeah, I'm gonna keep pumping out a video every week in the near future. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to stay up to date with all my stuff, please like this video, subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram at MaxTheMelonhead if you want. But other than that, you know, thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Peace.